All warfare is based on deception. These 5 words, penned over 2.5 millennia ago, have shaped the course of history, influencing generals, leaders, and thinkers from the ancient world to the modern boardroom. They are the cornerstone of the art of war, a masterpiece of strategy attributed to a single, enigmatic figure, Sun Tzu. But as we peel back the layers of time, a profound question emerges. Was Sun Tzu a real man, a brilliant general who walked the battlefields of ancient China? Or was he a myth, a legend created to embody the very essence of strategy itself? To find the answer, we must travel back in time to an era of chaos, conflict, and profound change. Welcome to the spring and autumn period of ancient China. The once mighty Zhou dynasty had fractured, its authority crumbling like a weathered stone. In its place, a mosaic of over 100 rival states emerged, each vying for power, land, and survival. This was not a time of grand, unified armies, but of relentless, localized warfare. Alliances were made and broken in a single season. Chariots thundered across dusty plains, and the clang of bronze swords echoed through the valleys. This crucible of conflict forged a new kind of leader, a new kind of thinker. The old ways of aristocratic, ritualized combat were dying. Survival now depended on wit, on foresight, on understanding the delicate dance of psychology and force. It was an age of desperation, but also an age of innovation. And from this turmoil, the 7 warring states would eventually rise, setting the stage for centuries of conflict. It was into this world, a world of constant danger and limitless ambition, that a figure known as Sun Wu, later to be immortalized as Sun Tzu or Master Sun, was born. Historical records, though scarce and shrouded in the mist of time, suggest Sun Tzu hailed from the state of Qi, a powerful and prosperous domain in what is now modern-day Shandong province. Here, thinkers and philosophers gathered to debate the nature of governance, ethics, and order. Growing up in this environment, the young Sun Wu was likely exposed to a rich tapestry of ideas. He would have studied the emerging principles of legalism, with its emphasis on strict laws and state control, and the enduring wisdom of Taoism, which taught the power of yielding, of flowing like water around obstacles rather than crashing against them. But his education was not confined to scrolls and scholarly debate. From an early age, he showed a profound interest in the practical art of warfare. He would have observed the drills of soldiers, studied the logistics of supply lines, and analyzed the outcomes of local skirmishes. He saw that bravery alone was not enough. He saw that numbers could be overcome with cleverness. Discipline, he realized, was the bedrock of any successful army. And strategy, the unseen, intellectual dimension of conflict, was the ultimate weapon. While other young men of his station might have pursued courtly life or commerce, Sun Tzu dedicated himself to a single, all-consuming passion, mastering the art of victory. His reputation as a keen strategic mind began to ripple outwards, a quiet murmur that would soon become a roar. That murmur eventually reached the ears of one of the most ambitious rulers of the era, King Hello of the southeastern state of Wu. King Hello was a man with a vision. Surrounded by powerful rivals, he knew that conventional military might would not be enough to secure his kingdom's future. He needed an edge and intellect capable of transforming his modest army into an unstoppable force. Intrigued by the tales of the brilliant strategist from Qi, he summoned Sun Tzu to his court. When Sun Tzu arrived, he didn't present the king with boasts of battlefield glory. Instead, he presented him with his written work, 13 chapters that distilled a lifetime of observation and thought into a cohesive philosophy of war. King Hello was captivated. Here was not just a collection of battlefield tactics, but a profound guide to leadership, psychology, and statecraft. He saw in Sun Tzu's words a path to victory that transcended mere brute force. Recognizing the genius before him, the king wasted no time. He appointed Sun Tzu as a general, entrusting him with the monumental task of reforming and commanding the Wu army. Sun Tzu's rise was swift. He immediately set to work, instilling a level of discipline and strategic coherence his soldiers had never known. He was not just a commander, he was a teacher, transforming a regional army into one of the most formidable fighting forces of its time. The philosophy he brought to the kingdom of Wu was revolutionary. At the heart of the art of war lies a radical idea. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. For Sun Tzu, the greatest victory is the one won before the battle even begins through diplomacy, intimidation, and maneuvering your opponent into an untenable position. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. Central to this is the principle of deception. Warfare, he argued, is a constant game of illusion. You must appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Make your enemy believe you are far away when you are near, and near when you are far away. Like a shadow in the twilight, a commander must be formless, unknowable, their intentions veiled in secrecy. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Sun Tzu taught the importance of understanding the battlefield as a living entity. He urged commanders to read the terrain, the mountains, rivers, and forests not as obstacles, but as allies, just as water shapes its course according to the ground. An army must adapt its tactics to the landscape, turning the natural world to its advantage. Patience, too, was a weapon. He cautioned against rash, emotional decisions, advocating for a calm, calculated approach. An army must know when to advance, but more importantly, when to wait, conserving its strength while the enemy exhausts theirs. But above all, Sun Tzu's philosophy is built upon a single, unshakable pillar: knowledge. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Know their strengths, their weaknesses, their morale, their leadership. But just as crucially, you must know your own. Understand your army's limits, its capabilities, and the spirit of your soldiers. This dual understanding of the self and the other is the key that unlocks the door to invincibility. It transforms war from a gamble into a science. Through these principles, Sun Tzu offered not just a way to win wars, but a way to master conflict itself. But Sun Tzu's influence didn't end with the kingdom of Wu. His strategies would echo through centuries of global warfare.